about to experience the Drunken Peasants podcast, the greatest podcast in human history. Please recognize that this podcast is designed to be amusing and entertaining, and thus we engage in satirical comments, exaggerations, and even dirty jokes. If you are offended by such things, please go away and die. If you enjoy this podcast, we ask that you help to support its existence by contributing to our Patreon at patreon.com/DP. Contributors get regular access to monthly private shows, special commentaries, Google Hangouts with the peasants, and more. If you don't want to do that, you can also support the show by visiting audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants to get a free audiobook and access to over 150,000 audiobook titles, including great selections on science and skepticism. And if you shop on Amazon.com, we strongly urge you to use one of the Amazon affiliate links in the description section of our videos. You can help support the show simply by using our link to buy things you were going to buy anyway. Now that we've got all that shit out of the way, sit back and enjoy the show.
From the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Hey man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck you talking about, atheist? It's okay.
You're nothing, KJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be light.
You're garbage.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast, episode 216. On Monday, March 14th,
On the
2016.
Smoke weed every day.
You know, we're not our usual chipper selves today.
I don't know in the same place either.
Chipper, but you know. Yeah,
Usually,
why
yeah.
are we here on the Amazing Atheist channel? That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, I know. It's because a little fucking weasel named Tommy Sotomizer. Oh, I'm sorry. It's pronounced Sotomizer. That's right. Tommy Sotomizer.
Yeah, sodomizer, correct.
No. Sotomize. No, Sotomizer.
Oh, sodomizer.
Tommy Sotomayor. Sotomizer. He has false DMCA'd us. He's decided that fair use doesn't apply, as so many obtuse morons have before him. And just like all of those other obtuse morons, like Daddy Derek and, you know, all the other morons who have filed false
Can't be mean to me.
Jenny McDermott, whoever else, they're all stupid. They always lose, but they always fuck you while you're going through the process, because of course YouTube automatically takes the side of the copyright holder even when they're a moron. So,
and we have to wait up to 10 business days.
So it looks like we'll be streaming from over here for a while. Now, we put a video up on the Drunken Peasants channel explaining the situation and explaining that there's a strike on our account and our live streaming privileges have been revoked, as well as a number of other YouTube features. It's you know, it's getting a lot of views. I would urge you guys to go over to the Drunken Peasants channel and watch that if you haven't. But Tommy actually responded to it.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that up.
Yeah.
Let's see what Tommy said.
I'm sure he's really going to explain himself.
Oh, hold on.
That's actually the strike itself, so we can start with this. This is our account in bad standing. This, on its own, will expire in September. Yay!
Yay, we'll stream then.
If you receive 2 more strikes, your account will be terminated after 7 days. Whee!
Yeah, claimed by Sotomayor Entertainment.
Yeah, Sotomayor Entertainment.
And what you can see here is it was manually added.
Yes.
So this is totally done manually.
Tommy Sotomayor is done with the peasants again, was the name of the video he flagged.
How
fucking ironic is that?
And he's still apparently not done with us. There you see the video ID, and you see the where it's claimed by Sotomayor, and we have already filed the counter notification, so hopefully that process will not take too long. Still holding out some hope that maybe in the intervening days, Tommy will come to his senses and drop this ridiculous, bogus claim.
In our video back on the Drunken Peasants channel that we recently made, we accused Tommy of being a hypocrite for 2 reasons. One, he made a video not too long ago criticizing how black people that don't like him always false DMCA him all the time, and white people never do that to him, which is the usual narrative of most of his videos.
True. Right.
He also, we also said, you know, you've used our clips in the past.
Yeah, and this is actually, of all the points we brought up in that video, we brought up several points. The only point he responded to was that one, and he said, "Sorry, I have never used your video. I told people to go to your video. I have never used your videos. You are a liar. I have never used your videos because it's not cool for me to use your content and you not get paid for it. I'm good." Well, Tommy, I'm afraid to let you know that actually the liar is you, because you have, in fact, used our clips in your video. And we can actually prove that. Here's a fucking video of yours. We'll try not to play very much of it because we know how sensitive you are about that, but let's just get to the part where you play our clip. Right there.
Hold on.
I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, your Google didn't work, since you talked about research and how I should know so much before I turn the camera on. No camera on. But I don't know why anybody talked.
Where's the part where you used it?
It's before this. You passed it already. There it was.
Okay.
Love me, and she said,
there he is. Hey, that looks like our show. Oh, shit, he just cut to our show. That's weird.
When I was a little kid, my mom would whoop the shit out of me.
Oh, they can't see it.
And I asked her, "Mommy, do you love
there
me?"
It is.
And she said,
take us off the screen, too, so they can really see what the fuck this is. Okay. All right, we're gonna take everything off here, and
yeah, get a good look at what's going on.
All right, get a good look at this. This is Tommy's video right here.
Yeah, and it fades into our video.
He's talking, and
keep in mind Tommy's comment while you watch this video.
Yeah.
They tried to put a watermelon. This part.
"Let me tell you something, man. When I was a little kid, my mom would whoop the shit out of me. And I asked her, "Mommy, do you love me?" And she said, "Fuck no, I don't love you."
There he is, using our clips from our video, despite the fact that he said, "Oh, I don't do that. I've never done that."
It almost seemed like in that video he played our video to criticize what we said.
Yeah, almost as if there was some kind of like, you know, like fair use or something. Like he's allowed to do that by law.
Yeah, and we didn't. We were like flagging him.
Remember that? Remember the time we flagged him for that? I don't either, because we didn't, because we're not assholes. So apparently Tommy thinks that he can use our clips, and he understands that he has fair use, but when we use his clips, it's not fair use. Even though our content is transformative in nature, even though it doesn't commercially affect his content, even though we're using it for purposes of commentary and criticism, even though it meets several of, not just one, but several of the criteria for fair use.
He uses the King criteria, I'll have you know. Was it fair to Tommy? Was it fair to him? No, it wasn't.
Let's bring Mr. Zigo in here.
Yeah. I hope he has something to say.
Oh, I'm sure Paul has nothing to say about this.
Rip him. Rip him. Da-na-na-na-na. Rip him.
Hello,
Rip
Paul.
him
Welcome to the show.
Ben Paul.
Howdy.
Hey,
how's it going?
Good.
You know, could be better, Paul.
No, it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
It's going good for me.
Tommy Sotomayor is just spewing butthurt all over Twitter at this moment. I've been kind of following.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
Can you let us know what he's tweeting?
Yeah, let me bring it up here real quick.
Cool.
Just give me a sec. I got to get back to his.
Sure, take your time.
Page. Yeah. He's got a lot to say about this on his.
Oh, he
on his
does.
Twitter.
Does he now? Okay.
So let's see. Let me go back a ways, because his whole Twitter has basically been us for the last 2 hours, I'd say. He says, in response to somebody, "You write, it has no relevance that some white dude I don't know keeps taking my content and white people think it's cool."
White people.
So
it always becomes a racial issue.
Yeah,
with
like
him.
every time, like if when black people are flagging his video, black people flag. But now when we use his content in the fucking parameters of fair use, he's like, white people are always stealing content.
It's what he's looking for. It's like with Anita Sarkeesian, like sexism is everywhere. It's like when someone sees racism everywhere, they're gonna see racism everywhere.
Yeah. What a cuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's just over and over kind of the same stuff. You can't rebut people who just sit around and make money using other people's content. Take snips, that's fine.
Take snips, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to be stalked online by people who think it's cool to now take my daughters and talk about her all while using my video. He's pulling the Brett Keane maneuver there. Like I really remember.
Family.
Yeah, I really remember
my family. We never attacked your daughter. What we did was we mentioned you were saying that slaves had a choice. So we presented you with the rhetorical dilemma of, okay, imagine you were given this choice where it's like, we're gonna like rape and murder your daughter if you try to resist us.
Also, no matter what we say, that's not grounds for a DMCA.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a totally separate issue in the first place.
Here's his direct response to your threat to sue him for the lost revenue on the Drunken Peasants channel. Yeah. He says, okay, I got the money to pay it if the judge sees fit, but they took all my content and my lawyer says that's illegal, so let's do it.
Oh, your lawyer. His lawyer. Yeah, okay, so before you filed this DMCA, you, of course, did the prudent thing and consulted your attorney.
Fuck no, he didn't.
You did not.
Right, because the very act that took our video down and put the strike on our channel was a violation of the law.
Well, so I think it's relevant for Tommy to know that what he's doing is perjuring himself. The same as walking into court and putting your hand up and swearing on the Bible and then lying on the stand. That's what you've done. The video that we uploaded that you took down with a false DMCA falls well within the guidelines of fair use. If you had a lawyer, you'd know that, but you don't.
But Paul, let me ask you something. Do you think it's actually a realistic penalty? Like, I mean, I know it could be, but I think so often people say, "Oh, it's illegal," but does anyone ever really get caught or really get in trouble for it?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I think it's pretty rare for YouTube channels to have the money and the will to go to court to defend their revenue streams when shit like this happens. That's why Brett Keane is still around. But you know what? I'm not speaking for you guys, but from the video you uploaded today on the Drunken Peasants, it sounds like you guys have the money and you have the will to see this thing through and get
not only that, but we have prospective benefactors that would back us.
Yeah, several dozen people have already offered to contribute to a legal defense fund for the show. So I hope it doesn't come to that. I truly hope that Tommy will come to his senses and drop this so that we don't have to be embroiled in this long, protracted battle just to fucking see common sense prevail after perhaps months and months of litigious bullshit. But if that's the way it's got to be, I guess that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
So what time frame are we looking at here before we would...
Oh, I would say before the next show.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, we're going to have to wait to see the result of this DMCA on YouTube, but...
that could take up to 10 business days, too.
So, I mean, however that plays out, we'll see, and then after that, we'll decide what other measures we need to take.
Right now, we're looking at up to 2 weeks to really have any sort of word of this moving forward at all.
Crazy shit. Crazy.
Yeah, he posted something about, and I think this is why he's doing this more than anything else. I think he knows that this is not illegal. He talks about, and I'm trying to find it here, but he said, you know, I'm not going to let people use my content to clown me. Well, you know what, dude? That's part of being a public figure in the United States. Criticism is protected.
Yeah, I mean,
as it should be.
You're the one who decided you were going to put yourself out there on YouTube. I mean, if there's plenty of people who use my footage to clown me and throw shade my way. Ain't like I'm immune to this shit. No one is. You don't get to go around filing false DMCAs just because your butt hurt. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not going to work out for you.
Look, this is obviously a transparent attempt at censorship. It's these people are making fun of me. I don't like that. I don't actually want to engage in a dialogue with them or argue with them or whatever or ignore them. I just want to take them down. I want to take any content related to me down and say, oh, I'm not getting paid, so it's not fair to me, so I'll see you in court. You know, he's claiming these things, but I don't think he wants to go to court on these issues. Maybe he does, but I don't think so.
We'll see. All right, so I guess that's about all that needs to be said about that situation. I would recommend, once again, that everyone who wants to know more about this to go check out the video we uploaded to the Drunken Peasants channel explaining the whole thing. It's up there, and it'll probably give you a better idea about where exactly things stand, but...
and we'll keep everyone updated, so...
Fuck yeah.
Also, we want to let everyone know that coming up on Monday, March 28th, we will have the professional girl gamer, Casey Tron, on the show.
She's amazing.
Wow.
She's a professional girl gamer, a feminist. A
Christian, right?
A Christian, too.
She's a Christian feminist professional gamer girl with huge fucking jiggly tits.
Now, TJ, the last time she was on, you were pretty mean to her.
I know.
I was not. That was foreplay, and afterwards we had sex.
A lot of white knights. A lot of white knights said that, TJ. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, you know they're wrong. They just don't understand how to talk to a woman properly, like I do.
Yeah, with all your neckbeard experience, TJ.
You know, you talk to a woman with the back of your hand. That's how you talk to her.
Oh wow.
Okay,
especially a bitch like Casey Tron.
A total aside. On that note, TJ, I remember one time me and you were at a mall, and I ran up to these girls and said, "My brother likes you," and then like kind of ran away. And I saw what TJ did. TJ they said, "Really?" And they started walking towards TJ, and he like literally ran away in terror.
Yeah.
So like TJ like telling you he knows how to talk to women it's total bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, I was also like 13 when that happened.
You were like 15.
No, I was like 13.
Oh, you're still a little bitch.
I was fucking acne scarred and horrible and awkward.
You still know how to talk to people, TJ.
Whatever, Scotty. I'm not talking to you, bitch.
Most people you fucking know, TJ. You like introduce, hey, I'm TJ. Here's some fucking vor porn. What do you think? It's true. Sometimes me and TJ have to use the same inbox for things, and it's like I'll see these other messages come in, and I'll be like, oh my god. And he doesn't give a shit anyways. He doesn't fucking care if anyone knows. She's like, well, whatever.
What do you think?
Because, you know, some people like it, man. You got to know what you share in common with people.
A typical TJ conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know why when we met, you didn't, like, expose me immediately to vor.
Because I remember you talking on your channel before about how you have no, like, real fetishes and shit, and you're just kind of, like, vanilla, boring... I just wants to have sex like a boring fuck. I don't have no fantasies about getting eaten or nothing.
That video could use an update. It could use an update.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to say that I wasn't 100% honest in that video, but you know, as a sexual being, I've kind of
You've evolved.
He got into clopping.
Yeah.
You got into clopping.
Yeah. I got into clopping.
He takes two severed horse hooves and fucking slams his cock between them. Clop, 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 clop. That's what clopping is, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's what it is.
Absolutely.
Very sexy.
Feels great. Gives you a full body orgasm.
Wow. Cool.
When you clop off. Yeah.
Ooh. I gotta try that.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been missing something.
By the way, before we get started with the show, too, I've got the fucking scale, TJ. I'm ready for this weigh-in anytime.
Well, I'm ready for it, too, but Scotty thinks that we should fucking, like, build it up some more.
Well, no, I want to do a video of TJ stuffing his face so people can see, like, how... Because obviously he needs every... he's going to really have the... You're actually going to have the advantage, Paul, because you've actually not been really dieting lately, and TJ kind of has, a little bit at least. So.
I sat down at a table with TJ last night, and he ate a bunch of sausage and potatoes. And then,
okay, you ordered the exact same thing as me, and you ate the whole thing, and I had leftovers.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on. And then, like, not even like an hour later, I hear TJ like literally inhale a bowl of cereal. Like, it was like this never-ending sound of like milk being slurped and like, you know, like whatever oats and whatever whatever
It was
in it.
it was Reese's peanut butter puffs.
Oh my god,
Ben, that wasn't the end of the night for TJ.
Oh, I know.
After you left, he had biscuits and gravy, like some microwave shit.
I did. But the fucking German food I ate was my first meal of the day. So
this is gonna be a this is gonna be a good battle because I think TJ and I, like the time that we spent together, I think we eat kind of similarly. Like TJ just said, it was his first meal of the day. Like
TJ's kind of been dieting, as in like he has a diet that he follows.
I usually just eat one big fat meal a day. Like if I had my way, I'd just eat one gigantic buffet every day. And I think TJ's kind of the same way, but I punctuate it with like these snacks that are not great snacks. Like I've been up and down. I've been up and down
box of Cheez-Its. This is gone 5 minutes from now.
Yeah. Like, I've been up and down a lot because I'm in pain and shit at night. And I like, woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, and I was like, well, I could eat something. And I went and I got, like, a big, like, 3 big, thick slices of cheese that we bought for our sandwiches. And I just sat and I ate cheese at 5 in the morning. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you're dealing with.
I feel you hit me where I live on that one. I know what you're talking about, man. I feel you. But yeah, I guess so. When is this weigh-in gonna happen then?
Yeah, I think it should happen on the very next show.
I wish. Okay, fine. Okay. Next show, Wednesday show, Scotty. We're fucking doing the weigh-in. I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Scotty. Sack of shit.
What? Why are you pissed at me?
Because I'm mad.
I basically gave you license to eat a bunch of fattening food all day tomorrow.
Yeah. You suck. You're garbage, Scotty.
You know, I'm gonna sabotage you, TJ. You insult me one more time.
You know what, Scotty? Go to the fucking car and get my Cheetos.
No.
I got Cheetos in the car.
You insulted me, TJ.
Go get my Cheetos, Scotty.
No.
Hey,
Scotsworth.
Get my Cheetos.
Don't be cheating either. Don't be drinking a bunch of fucking water before the weigh-in and shit. Let's just
No. You
I'm
can
cheating.
You
I'm
can
cheating my ass off.
You can consume whatever you want before the weigh-in.
Just giving you fair warning. You better cheat too.
Isn't it better like to just like live our lives normally? Because I usually don't drink a gallon of fucking water in a day.
So what?
Here's Paul. Blue 32. Hut.
Hey, Paul, if you don't want to have the advantage, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take the advantage. I'm cheating. I never don't cheat.
Oh yeah, Paul. I was gonna tell you, if you have any chance of winning, you're gonna have to cheat. Because TJ's gonna cheat as much as he can. He's gonna cheat as much as he can.
I might even lob off some limbs just to lose a little more weight.
Damn.
I chopped my arm off. Now I win. I lost 30 pounds in a single day.
Dude, you just need to do that. Like, just get like a fucking like a cleanse. Do a cleanse right before you do like the next weigh-in.
Yeah, I'll go buy some detox products.
Oh
and,
my god,
shit my guts out,
dude. Laxatives.
Yeah, I'll just take laxatives daily. Daily laxatives. Become totally dehydrated. Risk death, but I'll win.
No. Just take a laxative on the day that you have to do the weigh-in and just flush yourself out.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna take one every day.
Dude, I'm going with a suppository, dude.
Just because it's fun, or
no, because it works quicker. Like you put it right in your ass and you're shitting in like a minute.
Wow,
crazy!
I gotta get one of those. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, laxatives take like 12 hours.
You know, earlier today I was listening to Howard Stern and he was interviewing Sally Field, and they started talking about politics, and I'm very disappointed in Howard Stern. Because he said that he thinks that the rise of Bernie Sanders is like anti-woman against Hillary. Like they're against Hillary because she's a woman. Howard Stern said this shit.
Dude, Stern has rebranded himself so hard in the last like couple of years. I don't even know who he is anymore. Like,
yeah, I mean, like
he had Lena Dunham on and kissed her ass all over the place and just agreed with every feminist talking point she had.
Wonderful. Yeah, he sucks now. I remember when he used to fucking throw like pies at women's asses and like make them fucking shove fish up their
he would have
pussies.
them ride a Sibian, which is this crazy masturbation machine.
Yeah, but now he's Mr. Feminist Values.
Apparently.
What the fuck happened?
I don't know.
What the fuck
he
happened?
got married.
I do know what happened. He brought in this chick named Marcy Turk to restructure his show. And the first thing she did was take away what everybody's favorite part of Howard Stern's show is, which is the crazy, like, the whack pack, the crazy, like, weird people that he brings on the show. She was like, much less of that. So he stopped doing that and started focusing on his skills as an interviewer, which are good. I like Stern's interviews. But his interviews now are so tame and so like boring. Like compared to like he used to get people in there like really well respected people and be like, "Oh, so you ever done anal?" You know what I mean? Like
all the time.
And now he's just he just kowtows and simpers and just kind of backs up everything they say, never challenges people anymore.
I hope that one day our show is popular enough for us to sell out and become fucking feminazis too. We've always respected women here at the Drunken Peasants.
Seriously though, I was kind of flabbergasted when I heard it, because Howard Stern is one of my heroes, and it's just fucking weird that he said something like that. Like that, it's totally unfounded. You know, there's no evidence to support that.
It's just like the fucking shit with the Ghostbusters trailer. Like, if you don't like the Ghostbusters trailer, you're sexist. It's like, no, it's just a shitty trailer. Just like Hillary's just a shitty candidate.
I saw a nice BuzzFeed article on that. It was like 23 examples of how, why people not liking Ghostbusters because of sexism.
Okay, I'm sure there are guys out there who...
Well, that's what they did. They cherry-picked all the ones.
I mean, like, I'm sure there are people out there who
we don't need no
women bullshit. But there's so many things about that trailer that are so fucking wrong beyond just women. Just like there's so many things wrong with Hillary Clinton, just beyond her being a fucking woman. But you know, we actually went to a Bernie Sanders. Well, Scotty didn't because he's lazy. But me and Ben and Chelsea and some random people we just met there
that were fans of the show.
Yeah, like. Oh man, we went there. The line was insane.
Holy shit! Yeah,
we arrived at fucking like 3:20 and didn't get in till like
4:45.
Like, yeah, and it was like we were literally
in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain, just waiting in line. And the reason why was apparent once we got up there, because it's like it takes like a minute or a minute and a half for every single person to enter. Because first of all, it's the TSA doing security.
Yeah, the fucking TSA was doing security to get into this building along with the Secret Service.
Yeah, and
what about the cell phone thing? Wasn't that ridiculous?
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, like we actually probably would have been waiting for like an hour longer if we hadn't met these fans who were like, you know, I'm just standing there in line, and all of a sudden I just hear like TJ, and I'm like, I look, and there's this fucking girl. She's like waving, and we're like, huh. So we went over there, and she's like, yeah, stand with me, and it's like she's way ahead of us in line.
We skipped like 45 minutes worth of line waiting.
At least 45 minutes. It might have even been an hour of line. So we fucking go over there to where she is, and we're standing there, and there's this dude with her, Sam, who he's got his phone on him, and his phone is dead, right? And he's been standing in line even longer than us because they got there earlier, which is why they were ahead of us. So they'd been standing in line, I don't know, probably like 3 hours or some shit. And he gets to the front of the line, and the TSA person looks at his phone. He's like, oh, yeah. They try to turn it on, and it's dead. They're like, oh, you got to go put this back in your car.
It's like he's been waiting in line. And that's why his phone's dead. He's been waiting in line for 4 hours.
Because apparently it could be like a bomb or something. I don't understand that. But I guess he was able to start it long enough for them to at least see it's not a bomb, so they let him through, ultimately. But, man, it was crazy. They almost, after he was waiting in line for 3 hours, just almost unceremoniously, like, go back to your car and go back to the back of the line.
Yeah, and it was raining like crazy.
Try again.
And people had to leave their umbrellas at the door. There was like this huge pile of umbrellas right at the door. I would guess probably like around like 15,000 people to 16,000, just a conservative guess.
Yeah, and when we went in there, the seating was just like bizarre because we're in the Schottenstein Center or Schottenstein
Value City Arena, basically.
Yeah, Value City Arena, whatever. It's you know, it's a big. It's got a capacity of about 19,000, I think.
Yep.
And I would say, you know, when the fucking rally actually started, it was about half full. But by the time Bernie was about halfway through his speech, it was probably like 3/4 full. But the way that the seating was arranged was such that probably the majority of the audience was at Bernie Sanders' back. So we're basically just watching him from behind giving a speech. Like, you know, it was crazy. Like 50% at least of the audience is like watching him from behind. They made no sense the way they set it up. I mean, I understand that they wanted people behind him so that they could, you know, have them in the background, but the way they did it was just fucking jacked up as shit.
Well, they want the perception that the entire building is full.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was already so full, they could have gotten that perception in such a better way.
There was a big crowd on the floor, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there was probably at least 10, 12,000 people in this fucking thing. So, I mean, like, that is a big crowd. You don't need to fucking resort to shitty camera tricks to make it look big.
Would the entire arena, would it have looked, if basically that many people were there, would it have looked full? Would there have been sections that were empty?
Well, there already were sections that were empty, but you could have arranged them in such a way that, you know, I mean, it just, if you'd actually been there, Scotty, and seen the way it was laid out, you'd know what I was talking about.
I know they're laid out. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a valid criticism.
Okay, well, fuck you. You're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, what does that prove?
It proves that you're a moron. You know what you're talking about.
Okay, how so?
Okay,
because I didn't go to this one rally.
When there's when there's fucking half of the crowd is watching your ass, you have fucked up the seating arrangement. I'm sorry.
One thing I will say.
Were you here to see the speech or just hear the speech?
One thing I will say is that I don't.
Both.
Scotty, I will say that I don't think it was half of the crowd. I think it was like.
It was half.
He's over exaggerating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not over exaggerating.
I really doubt that's how it was.
It's not half of the. I mean, by the time the place filled in, it was not half the crowd behind him.
Whatever. It was a huge percentage of the crowd.
There was a large amount of people behind him.
There was more people behind him than was necessary.
There's always a wall of people behind the candidate at a rally.
And I understand that, but the amount of people they had behind him was ridiculous, especially since the way he was framed in the shots didn't even really need all those people there. But you know, it was still cool to go to the rally and shit, even though it was like a horrible pain in the ass. But
yeah, and it was fun. And then we went out and got German.
And we met a bunch of people. I met so many fans there. I met, aside from the ones that we fucking ended up going to dinner with afterwards, I mean, I probably met like 15, 20 people that wanted to shake my hand or take pictures or anything else. So it was cool.
Anything else? What does that mean, TJ?
I'll leave it up to your imagination.
Speaking of which, we're working on the details for the Drunken Peasants meetup in Columbus, Ohio in mid-April.
We're fairly confident we have a venue, but...
And a date. We're working on it.
We're reasonably certain. Hopefully by the next show we'll know absolutely 100% definitively when the meetup will be happening.
If you're interested in coming and you think there's a good... Well, everyone's interested. Go to the Columbus meetup poll in the description down below. Let us know if you think you could make it.
Sure. Yeah, please do that. Okay, so I guess that's enough jibber jabber. Let's watch some fucking videos.
All right.
I'm feeling not a troll today.
Troll.
I'm going back to what wins. I'm with Scotty. Troll.
Bam! Yeah.
It's a troll.
But before we do this, could someone define troll?
Oh my god. Anybody from now on, anyone who says that, regardless of whether they're Paul or me or Scotty or you or a guest, like they've earned like 5 minutes at least of being muted.
Agreed.
It's like, quit trying to bring nuance into troll or not a troll. Like it's right there. It's not troll or not a troll or some gradient in between.
Let us examine the factors that constitute a troll.
I'm just saying that a troll that fails at trolling is not a troll.
Yes, they are.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. That's like saying that a fucking runner who fucking fails at running isn't a runner. You know, like if they're trying, it still fucking counts. Like, you know, if you say, I mean, I guess if they like literally can't run at all.
What if their attempt is so fucking inept that it doesn't even count as trying?
Well, I mean, it's like, does The Room count as a movie? Does Tommy Wiseau count as a director and a writer? I mean, I think he does. He's just bad at it. Just because they're bad at it doesn't mean they're not that thing. But then again, I guess there are things that
hilariously bad though.
I guess there are certain things that you can do. Well, whatever. Fuck this. Let's play the damn video.
Play it.
What's up, pups? How you guys doing? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. So, as you can see, today is another story time video. The time that I was attacked by thugs.
Story time with whoever this is.
Orange-haired girl.
So this is like a really kind of long-winded story and really weird, and just I'll try to be as like summarizing as possible so I don't have to delve too.
Okay, you're already failing at that because you're giving us this long, boring, meaningless intro instead of just getting into the story. I don't understand how every single fucking week on this show we get these people who just can't fucking do the video. They gotta fucking tell you what the video is gonna be and why the video is certain ways. And you know what? I blame the comment section for this shit, because the comment section has made people feel like they need to address every possible comment that someone could make.
There's just the law of bad YouTube videos. We've seen it, and we've seen it since pretty much we started doing this show.
First rule of YouTube: the comments should be taken not only with a grain of salt, but with a fucking salt mine.
Yeah, she's trying to preempt the inevitable "too long didn't watch, long-winded story, thumbs down, unsubscribe" comment.
Does not seem like a troll so far.
Yeah, I'm still feeling not a troll on this one.
Too much into like the weird part of it. Okay, so one night I was sitting in my apartment. These two guys entered my apartment. And they just came in on their own. I was in the bath and I was like, what the hell? So it was a break-in. They come into the bathroom and they start telling me that I owe someone money and they're demanding that I give them the money. And I'm just sitting there like, first of all, scared out of my mind, because who are these people in my apartment? So I'm freaking out. I don't know if they're gonna kill me, if they're going to try to hurt me. Like, they're just yelling at me that I owe someone money and I have no idea what they're talking about. So I think after—
So far this sounds like the plot to The Big Lebowski.
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
After a couple seconds of like me basically crying and saying, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know that person, like I don't owe anyone money, I don't know what you're talking about. They finally, I guess, registered that they were in the wrong person's house, or they—
Yeah, this is sharing more in common with the plot of The Big Lebowski now.
were like interrogating the wrong person. So they decided, okay, we're just gonna leave, but don't tell anybody that we were here. So they finally leave my house, but like not before peeing on a rug that I had.
Oh, okay. It's the plot of The Big Lebowski.
Troll!
Yeah, it's a troll.
It's a troll.
Wow. Yes!
What was that, TJ? What was that? You were feeling not a troll?
I don't know why would...
She seemed pretty genuine at the beginning.
Yeah.
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 See, that was a decent troll.
True.
Yeah, it had me going for a while.
Yeah, I was waiting for like, okay, she's either going to mention bowling or peeing on the rug.
I like the bad ones because they are more ambiguous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes a good troll is easier to tell than a bad troll.
Yeah, I guess. I'm all for not giving the status of troll to people who don't earn it by trolling
It's not like it's a fucking honor or some shit.
Where the fuck are you the UN now, Paul? I don't know if you get troll status.
Yeah, I am. I've established myself as the fucking arbiter of who is a troll and who isn't.
All right, time for some right-wing news clips. Here is someone saying that Bernie Sanders is popular because communists run the schools.
True.
Cool.
There have been systematic strategies by when the Communist Party USA changed their name to the Progressive Party. They laid out, they published their strategy.
Is there a party called the Progressive Party?
I don't know, but there was and still is a Communist Party USA that has not gone away, and it did not become a different party.
Oh, okay.
For taking over America, and they followed it. Step by step, take over the media, take over education, take over the arts and entertainment, then the government will be a piece of cake to take over, which is what we've seen. They've taken over the media, taken over education. Wonder why all the young people are following Bernie Sanders. He's a socialist.
What are the signs that the Communist Party has taken over the media in America? Because from where I'm sitting, it seems like capitalists have taken over the media in America. Like everything they do seems to be centered around making money. That doesn't seem very communist.
They're very capitalistic communists, dude. They love making money, even though they hate the system.
They want to follow a socialist.
I mean, here's a real question.
Losing their mind.
Here's a better question. If the media is, like, bought and paid for by communists, and that's why everyone likes Bernie Sanders, then why does the media shit all over Bernie Sanders and prop Hillary Clinton, a corporatist fucking shill?
Hillary's been pushed as the front runner from fucking day one.
Right. So if Bernie Sanders was really... If you're saying this is why Bernie Sanders is popular, shouldn't the media presumably be like non-stop sucking Bernie Sanders' fucking dick?
You see Fox News come on like Bernie Sanders, the only real choice.
They're clearly not. I mean, they're clearly sucking Hillary Clinton's dick. So yeah, this is just like on the face of it absurd. Oh, and I went to public schools in America, and they were not very communistic, honestly.
Not only did I go to public schools, I worked for the public school system for the last 8 years of my life and was privy to a lot of the shit that went on, and it's straight up crony capitalism. Just like every other government body in America, it's crony capitalism. It's shady, underhanded deals and favors for people who don't deserve it. And fucking, money making. Always about the money. So it has nothing to do with communism. Trust me. There's not a hint of communism in American public
except
education.
everyone has to eat together. That's about the only thing.
Socialism in our schools since they were young kids.
That's right.
This is what they're...
That's right. That's right. It's not right. It's totally wrong.
Well, look, if you look at the demographic trends, like Pew and stuff like that, it's just the millennial generation is strongly, well, maybe not strongly, but does favor liberals.
No, you're wrong.
Waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Well, we let them steal our history and take our history out of the books, out of the teaching, but there can be a turning. There can yet be a turning.
Jesus, they inserted everything in our classrooms. They took him away.
I don't even know what that guy's talking about.
Yeah.
You drunken YouTube white dudes threaten Tommy Sotomayor.
Yeah, that's his new video.
That's his newest video, huh? Everyone, go to Tommy Sotomayor's Twitter and go to his new video that he links there and give it a big fat fucking thumbs down and call him a cretinous moron, because he is.
You're vote brigading, TJ.
Yeah, I am. When he started false DMCAing, the fucking gloves came off. Be sure to let Tommy know that he's a piece of garbage.
All right, next video. Alex Jones to lead Donald Trump rally. Finally, Alex Jones, time to shine in the political field for once and for all. Next thing you know,
maybe he's gonna be the VP, dude.
Yep,
VP Jones. Yeah.
Yes. Here it is.
Watching the Chicago protest, it sickened me to see the different posters that they had out there with the messages that they were sending through.
Yeah.
That I was watching on Fox News. And,
I was seeing it. It's like, we're going to kill you if you're for Trump. We're going to beat you up if you're for Trump. Knockout game.
Really?
Yeah,
Come on. Knockout game. Oh, God. Way to dredge that bullshit back up.
I didn't remember. I mean, I saw some footage of those protests. I didn't see those particular signs. I mean, were there protesters acting up and fucking maybe crossing the line? Sure. But I mean, like, all these people who are acting like a lot of conservatives are really trying to make this protest into something it definitely was not. They're trying to act like these people went there with like this violent agenda, but they forget there was thousands of protesters there. There was only 5 arrests at the event. I don't know how many injuries there were. I can't find that figure anywhere, but I know it wasn't like hundreds or thousands of injuries, which it would have been if the entire crowd went to cause shit and be violent. You know, what you have in that protest is what you have in a shitload of protests. You have 95 to 99% of the people there just want to have a peaceful fucking demonstration. And then there's always a few assholes that want to throw bricks through windows and flip over cars and get into fights with people.
So you're saying it's just a few bad apples?
Yeah, I'm saying it's just a few fucking bad apples. It's not like some systemic problem in the fucking among the protesters or some shit. And that's just evident by the fucking sheer lack of I mean, you would see fucking catastrophic numbers of injuries. You would have seen some fatalities. But you would have seen,
don't you think the goal was
way more arrests? You would have seen.
Don't you think the goal was to, in fact, pretty much shut down the rally?
Sure. The goal was probably to shut down the rally, or actually, I think they said the goal was to fucking take the stage when Trump came out.
So do you think that their right to freedom of speech kind of, in a way, just trumps his then at that point?
Trumps. No, I mean, I think he has his right to freedom of speech and they have theirs. It's not like they've stopped him from this idea that he's been silenced is ridiculous. It's not like they've stopped him from speaking in every conceivable rally.
But that instance they did.
Yeah, in that instance.
I mean, that's the line.
But they're just making their voice heard at that point. They're just saying, look, we oppose this fucking guy and we're willing to be passionate about it. Now, you can disagree with that. You can say that they're assholes for doing it, and maybe they are. But I believe they had a First Amendment right to do it, especially because
I don't think legal precedent agrees with you, honestly.
This guy is potentially going to be the future president of the United States of America. These rallies are open to everybody. It's not just only Trump supporters can come in here. There's no fucking clause that says that.
No, it shouldn't. But the problem is that they're basically just trying to cancel out his right to go and speak there. In a way, in a way, they really are.
Trump Trump manufactured this situation to his advantage. The police had already told him that the event was secured and that he could go on with his speech, but he thought it would get him more political capital if he canceled because, it's dangerous.
Well, can you prove any of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been reported.
It's been reported? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even if you disagree,
I just err on the side of free speech. I just don't like the idea of people coming to events and saying, "Oh, we're going to shut this event down because we don't like the speaker." I don't really like that kind of mentality. And a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of liberals are kind of pro-censorship.
Are they shutting down his right to speech, or are they exercising their own? I would argue that there's at least a debate to be had there. And you can't just jump to I mean, regardless of whether or not it qualifies as free speech or if it's a nasty thing to do, the fact of the matter is that the right wing of America has completely exaggerated this shit well out of fucking proportion, making it seem like this rally was fucking attacked by violent communist thugs who wanted to do nothing more than beat down Trump supporters.
I don't buy into that narrative. I'm just saying that, I think it's an interesting free speech issue that we really have to examine closely.
Sure.
I agree.
I agree there's a debate to be had. Go ahead, Paul.
Begins where Trump's free speech ends and vice versa. They have the right, with their free speech, to say whatever they want. They can hold their own anti-Trump rally.
Yeah.
But this idea that we should kowtow to every little group of people that wants to come down and shut down a political rally kind of invalidates the point of a political rally. I feel the same way about these protesters as I felt about the Black Lives Matter.
Then you'd have to
Bernie protest.
You'd have to at that point blame Trump for kowtowing, though, because he's the one who kowtowed.
What choice did he have?
He could have gone on with the rally. He absolutely could have gone on with the rally.
I mean, look, to be honest with you, it looked pretty chaotic in there. I mean, from the footage I saw, it might not have been the best.
The protesters were removed from the fucking venue, and then Trump canceled the event, and then the Trump supporters.
There were thousands of protesters, and the protesters actually left. My information is they left after when it was announced the event was canceled.
Yeah, but I mean, the police were in the process of removing the protesters. We saw in the video that we were looking at them being let out.
I mean, there was thousands of them. I don't really know how you could have led them all out.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to say, too, that regardless of how you feel about it, it's impressive that they were able to organize an event of that size without anybody catching wind of it. Not the authorities, not a campaign.
It was all over Facebook. It was all over Facebook. And MoveOn.org actually heard about it, too. They're the ones that actually...
MoveOn.org, they were the major orchestrators of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I know whose side I would be on if this was a Bernie rally and it was a bunch of right-wing people that came in and made asses of themselves and caused the whole thing to get shut down. So I don't feel comfortable fucking supporting these people in this.
I don't know, because Paul, back when the Occupy Wall Street stuff was going on. Yes. You and I I remember us talking about how we wish these people had been more proactive. We wish that they'd done more to actually impede Wall Street rather than just sitting peaceably in the streets and, allowing themselves to be ignored.
Sure.
So, I mean, I feel like these people just did go that extra step that we were condoning.
Well, maybe.
And I mean,
it's not like they went
to
a political rally where a political figure was going to speak,
yeah,
and they shut it down with bullshit.
Right,
I don't support anybody's speech, even Donald Trump's, getting silenced.
But his speech has not been silenced.
Exactly what happened, but it's starting to look that way.
His speech has not been silenced, though.
It hasn't been.
He has a huge megaphone, and this event has, if anything, actually just intensified the megaphone that he had.
So did the protesters really achieve what they wanted to then?
I think they achieved...
If you believe that.
I think that what they achieved is letting people know that there are people out there willing to be mobilized against Trump. They are not going to be complacent.
I think the same point could have been made very easily without disrupting the rally. Or I mean,
I don't shed any tears for Trump. I don't give a shit.
I don't either, but I care about freedom of speech. But that's fine.
I think that he represents a graver threat to freedom of speech than those protesters did.
How so? What would he do? He's going to undo the Constitution of the United States?
Well, he's already said that he wants to make it easier to sue newspapers when they write articles.
I don't think Trump's even going to win. So,
well, I mean, he may. You don't know if he is or not.
I would be shocked. I'll tell you that. Because look at the reaction. You're saying, look, people. That's why I'm kind of like losing you at some parts of this, because look, Trump should be allowed to say whatever stupid shit he wants.
He is.
He's mobilized everyone against him, like you're saying. He's the left wing in this country has basically been mobilized against Trump.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you really think he stands a chance of winning when Obama won the popular vote?
Sure he does, because
even Gore won
as
the
you
popular
mobilize the liberals against you, you of course mobilize the conservatives for you.
The numbers are just not in favor of the conservatives at this point.
Well, we'll see. We'll just see what happens. Because, I mean, Trump, you know, I guarantee you that Trump is going to fucking make a fucking turn towards the center when he gets the nomination. Because he's not always been a conservative. He used to hold a lot of liberal positions. And if Hillary Clinton is the nominee, there is no true liberal choice, and he's going to be able to rake her over the coals. He's going to be able to bring up all these scandals against her. He's going to do what Trump does best, and he's going to fucking destroy her.
I don't think so.
All right.
I mean, look, Hillary is too consummate of a politician, or Trump's just going to walk in and just totally wipe the floor with her. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I mean, we already had Barack Obama, young upstart, wipe the floor with her, and it's already...
Okay, but Obama and Trump are not the same fucking politician. They're not the same.
I don't know. I mean, they both kind of have a strong, passionate following.
Well, here's the thing. With Obama had all the credibility in the world. Trump has no credibility besides a small group of people.
You know, how is credibility measured? Credibility is in the eye of the beholder, like anything else. Anyway, we should probably get a little further in this video. Oh, okay. I guess Ben's trying to do something, so we'll figure this out. So let's keep arguing.
I don't know. I feel like it puts me in a precarious position to say, yeah, you know what, this was a good thing. Because when I was talking about Occupy Wall Street being more proactive and widespread, I wasn't talking about stomping into a rally and start picking fights and shit. Like that's never how anything gets done, at least not politically in this country. And make no bones about it, like any war that's won is going to have to be done by cutting out the feet politically. I wanted to see mass walkouts from places like Walmart and mass walkouts from people in the government. I was in a union that didn't allow me to walk out when teachers walked out in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street.
I mean, but like you're still doing. I mean, that's still a protest that's impeding. I mean, you know, anybody who's trying to shop at Walmart, that's going to impede them, and people are going to be like, "Oh, this is bullshit," because I'm just trying to shop, and these people did this.
I don't buy into the argument.
There's always going to be someone who's impositioned by a demonstration.
I don't buy into the argument. No one can be inconvenienced by a protest or something like that. Or I don't buy into that at all. And I know
that's not what I'm saying.
No, I know. I think what TJ believes more.
I'm sorry,
go
Scotty,
ahead.
go ahead.
Okay. Me and TJ have discussed this many times. TJ just really believes he does believe that violent change is needed. TJ's a believer the only way things are really going to change is if violence occurs. So I think to TJ's narrative, in his mind, what happened at the rally was good. He's like, yeah, violence was used because these Trump people need to know that we mean business.
Yeah, that's how I view it. I really do. I view it as like saying, like, you know, fuck you. You're not the only ones who are willing to get crazy and wild and violent. And I think of it as a direct response also to these attacks of protesters who go into these Trump rallies outnumbered and try to just do very civil protests and, you know, hold a sign that says America's already great or something like that. And then, you know, some crazy, wild, fucking conservative, hillbilly, shit-kicking asshole thinks they can just punch him in the face. And Trump will just sit there and say, yeah, beat the shit out of those protesters. I'll pay for your legal fees even. So, fuck Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck. I say shut his fucking rally down because you know what? He's still had tons of rallies before. He's going to have tons of rallies after. It hasn't fucking impeded his right to freedom of speech. It's just let him know that there are other people out there who don't fucking agree with him. And you know what? He does know that because when someone even fidgeted at one of his rallies afterwards in St. Louis, his ass jumped like 10 feet in the air like a scared little bunny rabbit.
That was in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, Dayton, Ohio then. I thought it was in St. Louis.
So where does your principle lie, TJ? Do you believe that anytime you don't agree with someone, it's like, you know what, I don't agree with what TJ's belief or his group's beliefs, I'm going to storm in, I'm going to stop the event with threats of violence?
I don't think there was threats of violence. I think it was stopped because there was just concern because there were so many protesters there. The Trump supporters didn't feel comfortable.
I saw the videos. It didn't look like it was a calm place
when they're outnumbered. When the Trump supporters outnumber the protesters, they're tough and they fucking have big swinging dicks and they kick people while they're down.
I don't agree with any of that. You act as if I'm defending the actions of idiots. I'm saying I defend freedom of speech, and I do think that in that instance his freedom of speech was, in a sense, blocked or altered because of this crowd.
The only one who can violate your freedom of speech is the government.
I think
not necessarily true.
I think we'd be having a completely different conversation if this was a group of SJWs that shut down Milo Yiannopoulos.
Well, I mean, that's happened.
I know it's happened.
But you know
we've
what?
reacted to it.
Milo didn't cancel his event. He fucking stood there. I mean, like, if the university cancels the event because of pressure, that's on them. But
sure. Well,
I don't think Milo has ever canceled an event because he's afraid of threats. Marilyn Manson took the stage in Denver, Colorado, when there was literally hundreds of fucking bomb threats against him. There was a real legitimate threat of fucking violence. He still took the stage because he believed in what he stood for. If Donald Trump really believed in his message, he still could have taken the stage. He could have upped the fucking security. They could have removed the fucking protesters, and he could have gone on with the event.
There's really no way of knowing that. That's all speculation.
Yeah. I don't like Trump, TJ. I really fucking don't like Trump. But I also don't like people going to a fucking
I understand where you guys
rally.
stand.
I feel like if this was a fucking right-wing male men's rights activist lecturer that had, once again, like Trump, plenty of opportunities to do other rallies, and Big Red and the crew showed up and pulled fire alarms and started fights out in the crowd, you and I would be having a completely different conversation.
You're right, we would, but that's because it's a totally different context.
But the broad context is the same. It's a group of people that don't like what this guy's got to say, going in and doing shit and getting a rally, or attempting to get a rally shut
There's
down.
a big difference between someone like Milo Yiannopoulos, who maybe not everyone's heard his message. He doesn't have the exposure Trump does. Trump is a political candidate. He's a potential future president of the United States of America, and the American people have a right to let him know how we feel about what he says.
I think it's been made abundantly clear. But in many other mediums.
Yeah, I don't think it's been made clear enough.
So whose free speech is being violated, Trump's or the protesters?
I don't think there's any case that the protesters' rights were violated.
No.
I wouldn't even make that argument. I'm just making the argument that they were acting within their right to freedom of speech.
Okay.
So, do we want to watch more of this, or have we already explored this thoroughly enough?
I would say yes.
What like the right of the people to peaceably assemble, right? You believe that?
Yes.
And petition the government for redress of their grievances.
Sure. Yes.
So they didn't do that.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
I don't see
assembled.
Yes, they peaceably assembled. There were maybe. I mean, you can't.
I don't think so.
You can't hold the entire crowd liable for what a few people did.
I mean,
I'm talking about the few people that disrupted the rally.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
The people who actually were disruptive, the people who were actually engaging in violence or threats or anything of that nature, sure, they were in the wrong. But the people who were just there to hold signs and to let it be known that they do not support Donald Trump, I have no issue with that.
But here's the difference between, like you made the analogy, Marilyn Manson. The threat was not to the audience. It wasn't to anyone in this crowd. The threat was directly to the performer.
Well,
that's one person.
If a bomb goes off on stage, it's going to kill people in the crowd.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, look, we know, and the preferred method in the U.S. would probably be someone would shoot him. If someone really hated Manson, they'd probably just try to shoot him from the stage or get on the stage and shoot him.
Sure, but it wasn't gun. I mean, and maybe there were some gun threats, but there was a bunch of bomb threats.
But if you have a large group of people or two large groups of people that are actively antagonizing one another, you would think it's in the best interest to let the event go on. When you see, if you just watch the videos, there's just huge groups of people pushing each other and just moving back and forth, and it looks like chaos. You would say it's advisable to continue the rally at that point?
I would say, yeah. I mean, if you remove the people from there that you don't want in there.
What if they refuse to move?
Then you fucking drag them out. That would make their point too. That's part of the risk you take when you decide to protest. You might get hurt. Someone might attack you. You might get beaten down by the police. This has always been understood, especially in America.
Well, I don't think that was even a point of contention.
Well, I don't know. I don't understand your point then.
Okay, never mind.
All right, next video clip. Glenn Beck says God has been preparing his audience to save America. So that's our saving grace, the Glenn Beck.
Please tell me he's wearing his camo scarf. Please tell me.
You think we're that genius to be able to put that together?
Wow. You know what? You think usually? There's a skull and crossbones. It's cool. Never mind. I thought there's always something flashy about his clothes, and I was just like, it's just a boring, like, collared shirt.
It's like a golf shirt.
Yeah, but then I saw the skull and crossbones. I'm like, okay, yeah, he couldn't resist putting a little flair on it.
You think we had this master strategy that put that together? When I was in Ohio this weekend, and that dawned on me, I'm like, holy cow! I've been wondering what it was for. It's for this moment: honor, courage, love. Mm-hmm. Honor, courage, love. It was for this moment because this is the audience that's going to save the republic. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. What the fuck is he talking about?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
Glenn,
to react to that.
What the fuck are you smoking?
I mean,
dude?
maybe this is just poorly edited, and I didn't get the context of what's going on. But I don't know what he's talking about.
I want to ask you guys: do you think Glenn Beck is like this in real life, or is he a totally different person?
I know he used to be a drug addict and an alcoholic. I don't know now.
He also used to be a morning
is he a charlatan
on the radio?
Yeah.
He was a morning guy, like a wacky, like, hey, check out this. I think he's full of shit. I think he's not
basically,
like
okay.
You think that the morning zookeeper guy is closer to the truth of him?
Yes.
Or either that, or he's just some totally different thing, but he's adaptable to whatever media thing he needs to do.
There's so many times we listen to him speak, and I just can't connect the dots. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy even talking about?
You know what? Because here's the thing. He calls himself a principled person. Principled people don't spend their entire show shilling the apocalypse is coming, and then at the end of it sell people meals ready to eat in bomb shelters and shit. Like that, he knows what he's doing. He knows how he's manipulating this army of drooling retards that follows him, and he's aware of it all. It's a persona, just like the morning zookeeper was a persona.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that.
I am filled with the Spirit. I am filled with the truth on this one. This is the moment. Honor, courage, love. This is the moment. This audience will save the republic.
What audience?
This is the moment. Grab your friends. Everything I have talked about for almost a decade and a half is all coming to play this summer. And that tells me that God has had a master plan the whole time.
You know what? It almost sounds like he thinks he's a prophet. Like God had a master plan for him to lead his followers to save America.
And it's all so vague. This summer, something that Glenn Beck said would happen may happen
in a
potentially.
world where Glenn Beck's audience saves America.
Oh, saves the Republic.
In a purely performance-based way, it's kind of like it's hard not to admire Glenn's fucking angle on this. Like he really, because I think you're right, Ben. He does paint himself like he's a fucking prophet or something, and he probably had this thought one day, like, what is in the Bible that don't happen today that we can make happen now? Nobody's a prophet anymore. Nobody's the guy that's been like, I've been telling you since 2010 that the Muslims was gonna make a caliphate. Maybe he's painting himself in that way, and there's a small audience of people out there that are willing to eat it up.
There used to be a bigger one. What where did he go wrong? Do you think he just went too far? Because I mean, if it's all just a manufactured persona, you'd figure that if he realized he was going too far, he'd just pull back a little, or maybe he just likes the fanaticalness of his current devotees rather than a sizable audience.
On a mainstream outlet, though, he can't get away with being the prophet. Like, I predicted all this would happen.
He went too far. You never go too far to crazy. Like
you never go
full
crazy.
Yeah, you don't. If I were a Republican like talk show guy and I wanted to establish myself, I would go crazy because you got to court crazy to be popular in the Republican Party. But I wouldn't go full Glenn Beck crazy. Like he was weeping on camera about how Jesus appeared to him in his sleep and put his hand on his shoulder and said, "Son, good job." You know, like that type of crazy. Even Christian Republicans go, all right, okay, yeah, nah.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of shit my crazy stepmom used to say. Like she was one of those people, like everything that ever happened to you happened to her, but like twice as crazy. You know?
Yeah.
All right, here's. Do you want to keep going with this or
no? This is
all right. Here's Sarah Palin, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
what we don't have time for is all that petty, punk-ass this little thuggery stuff that's been going on with these quote-unquote protesters who are doing...
They're definitely protesters.
Just want to point out you guys are on Sarah Palin's side.
Punk-ass thuggery.
I'm not on the side of Sarah Palin.
Wow.
I'm on the side of free speech.
You're right, TJ.
They are. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not
because
saying
I
you're
said-
wrong
I said
necessarily.
punk-ass
Just
thuggery.
I'm not saying you're wrong just because you're on Sarah Palin's side. I'm just pointing out you are on Sarah
I have
Palin's
a more
side.
nuanced position than Sarah Palin has.
I don't know. You know, it
Yeah,
didn't
I'd
sound
like
too
to think I
nuanced to me.
presented a more nuanced position than her as well. I didn't come out and
TJ's
start
wrong. TJ's wrong. What?
Wow.
Whatever.
Did Ben get to you? You drank the Ben Kool-Aid, didn't you? Paul, you're in breach of contract disagreeing with me on this.
Nothing but wasting your time and trying to take away your First Amendment rights,
Yeah.
your rights to assemble peacefully, and the media being on the thug side. What the heck are you guys thinking, media? It doesn't make sense.
Hold on. The media just fucking... The media, I didn't really see the media take a side. I mostly just saw them fucking filming it and reporting it. I mean, maybe some pundits have tried to flip it one way or the other on both sides of the aisle, but I haven't seen any concerted effort on the media's part to fucking push the narrative that's like, oh... I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what narrative she's claiming they're pushing, but...
The Fox News narrative at this point.
I don't know. I would like to point out, though, that if Scotty and I are on Sarah Palin's side, you're on Black Lives Matter's side.
Yeah, I guess that is a fair point.
Well, you all get it. I think the media and too many of the other candidates, they're underestimating the wisdom of the people. You all are
The media.
smart, you're energized, you're optimistic, you're positive,
Okay, they're listening to you. They're not smart. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
and that's why you're here today. And I thank you for spending your time here today because...
Okay, I just get a very distinct impression. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I feel like she doesn't really understand the words she's saying.
Right.
To me, it just sounds like she's making syllables that she knows she's supposed to make, but they don't actually register even with her on any level.
Yeah.
Like, I just get that distinct impression every time I hear her talk.
I agree.
And instead of getting better over time, it's gotten worse. Like, I think she's just become so fake that even she's just doesn't even know what the fuck she's saying anymore. She's like, these are the words I'm conditioned to say to make the crowd go, woo!
This is the same person that was elected to be governor of a state and then was like, oh, I can make more money through book deals and TV shows. I'll resign.
Yep.
She had no problem doing so.
So principled.
It is time. We have all recognized, the majority of Americans have recognized, Republicans, independents, those good old blue dog Reagan Democrats out there. We've all recognized we need a revolution. It is time to get rid of the status quo. The status quo has got to go, right?
Yeah, vote for Bernie.
We needed a revolution.
Vote for Bernie.
And we found our revolutionary.
Trump.
Donald J. Trump is that revolutionary.
Okay.
No, he's not.
I'm tired of political campaigns and corporations and everybody using the word revolution to describe anything they're doing. Like, to me...
A revolution in automaking.
Yeah, like, fuck that shit. Revolution is when people fucking take to the streets and start burning shit down and, like, we're gonna fucking storm the White House with pitchforks and fucking hang the president from the highest oak tree. That's the fucking... that's a revolution.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
a revolution
vote
doesn't
for
become
me! That's not a revolution.
A revolution doesn't become a revolution until it succeeds. When a revolution fails, it's called a terrorist uprising.
Insurgency.
So you can't pre-call something a fucking revolution.
It's gonna be a revolution.
Unless it's literally like a revolution of like a dishwasher cycle or something.
It's revolving.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Globe. This is a revolution of the globe.
Yeah.
A revolutionary globe.
Woo!
Oh, that's it. I'm so sad.
Why is Sarah Palin even still?
Here's Donald Trump talking about protesters.
The audience. Oh, get out of here.
Donald is definitely authoritarian. I mean, and that's the one indicator of someone who would vote for Donald Trump was they had authoritarian views. So, I mean, obviously that's who he appeals to, and that's definitely what he sounds like.
But you know, the thing I don't understand about it is that none of them will cop to it though. Like if you talk to these Trump supporters on Twitter or something, they think like, "I'm for Trump because I believe in freedom." It's like, no, that doesn't make sense. If you were for freedom, you'd be more adamantly opposed to Trump than anyone. He's like the most authoritarian candidate.
Also, freedom is such a vague thing. I'm for freedom. Like, who is anti-freedom when you really talk to them?
I don't know. The reason that Trump is still a candidate is because he's taken the conversation to a different place. People don't even think about those things anymore. Trump people aren't for Trump for freedom. They're for Trump because it's a politician that talks like they do, that shits on people like they do. That's really at the core of Donald Trump's popularity. It's not even his policy. People don't even know his policies.
Exactly. If you go to his website, he barely even has any policies.
America's gonna be great. Vote for me.
Yeah, I mean, like everything he does, everything he says and does is kept like intentionally as vague as possible. He has no real plans for anything. He just has like general vague promises of like, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. It's going to be great. I'm going to make it happen. I'm a great businessman. I'm a winner. America's going to win. And, you know, he might as well just be shitting in his hands and holding out for you motherfuckers to eat. Like fucking candy. Although it doesn't taste like candy. Trust me.
Trust you. Okay.
These people are crazy. They're crazy.
Crazy.
These people are loco.
I didn't know this happened in Tampa. I love Tampa. I didn't know this happened. All right. They'll go home. They'll go home to their moms soon, and they'll get. Let me ask you. You know, I don't want to ruin somebody's life, but do we prosecute somebody like that or not? You know, it's on their card forever.
Yeah, this is the great champion of freedom of speech. Let's not silence him. Should we prosecute people who disagree with me? Crowd, yay!
Don't want to ruin his life or
fuck
anything.
Fuck them. Oh my God, fuck them.
Let's protect unpopular speech. Yay!
I don't know, dude.
This guy is the most anti-First Amendment candidate in the history of the fucking United States of America, or at least in my lifetime.
So
doesn't matter.
Is something that's very scary for me to hear when we're talking about First Amendment rights.
Fuck them.
I don't.
They don't
like,
believe in the First Amendment. They don't.
Trump is saying,
they're sitting there.
He's got a
They're
right
sitting
to say
there.
it.
They're sitting there, fucking cheering for the end of the First Amendment.
Well, they're stupid. They're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna fucking. I mean, I guess you technically have a First Amendment right to fucking sit there and say, fuck the First Amendment, but that doesn't make any sense when you try to defend yourself by saying, my First Amendment rights. Well, no. What do your First Amendment rights matter? You just said you don't even agree with the fucking First Amendment in the first place. So it becomes this big paradoxical fucking circle jerk of emptiness that leads nowhere. It's like the snake eating its own tail.
And maybe in their minds. But the principles of law remain the same, and that's what we want is an equal application of the law. Look, I'm not saying there's not a debate to be had. What I'm saying is, like, it really is kind of scary to say, oh, I don't really like what this person's saying, and they're even against the First Amendment. Let's just silence them. It's okay.
I'm not saying let's silence him. I'm just saying, like,
kind of really
how
are.
can you possibly say, like, I find it crazy that you're more disturbed by me saying fuck him than you are by him saying that guy should be prosecuted for criticizing me and an entire audience of people cheering. Thunderous ovation.
I'm not defending. Oh, look, I'm not defending his beliefs. Why can't you see the distinction? I'm not defending what Trump is saying.
I think
I'm defending the principles of freedom of speech.
A lot of reprehensible shit. And to be an
yeah, but most people are not going to be the president of the United States of America.
Just as much as the shit that I agree with.
Okay,
that's
but
the way it goes.
The problem with that is that if Trump becomes president and he actually gains the sort of power to do the sort of things he's talking about here, the First Amendment's going to be gone anyway.
Well, you don't suspend the First Amendment when it's in danger.
I mean, I never advocated suspending it. I'm just saying fuck these people.
Yeah, well, I agree. Fuck them. They're stupid. They're morons, but that's always been the case. We've always been surrounded by fucking stupid people.
But no, come on, let's be real here. You know, it's like every single election cycle, maybe with the exception of the Mitt Romney one. It's like the Republican frontrunners just get dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
And dumber.
It is true.
And dumber. It was George W. Bush. And I remember people at the time being like, George W. Bush is the dumbest fucking person that's ever been president. It'll never get dumber than him. And, you know, then it was Sarah Palin as John McCain's VP choice. And, oh, my God, she's dumber than Bush.
Yeah, and the other
And now
one.
it's Trump. It's like, holy shit, he's dumber than Palin.
I think this party is slowly but surely self-destructing.
Michelle Bachmann and Rick Santorum, too. Those motherfuckers were dumb.
Oh, yeah. But they never even got it. They didn't get as close to the fucking power structure as, you know, as someone like Sarah Palin did. Like, she'd been a VP. I mean, John McCain's still alive now, but who knows if with the fucking stress of being president, if he would have lived.
Huh.
You know, so we might have ended up with fucking President Palin.
We
in that
could
world.
have. Yeah, we could have.
I mean, and then you basically have someone who's probably not even fit to manage a fucking, you know, little league fucking hockey team running the fucking country.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a problem with people storming into a fucking event. Like, it's the same thing, the same reason I have a problem with Black Lives Matter storming the fucking library at a community college and shutting everything down. Under your defense, they've got a right to do that because you know what? They think you agree there are major problems with public education, right?
Sure.
And community college. So they've got a right to make those issues heard. They've got a right to storm into the fucking library and scream at the top of their lungs and shut down what everybody else is there for.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
I've always
not
been
freedom of speech.
No, it is. I've always been critical of things like that, but I've never said I don't think they have the right to do that. I can think it's stupid. I can think it's a waste of time. I can think it's a giant imposition to everyone around them and is not even going to effectually accomplish the task they're trying to do. But I still think it's their freedom of speech to do that. I still think that's their right to express themselves in that manner.
I guess you're right in a natural rights type of way. I guess you're right. They can conduct themselves how they want. But I don't think that you, under any other circumstance than Trump, would be found defending people storming into a fucking rally and screaming over the person trying to talk.
I mean,
I think that's what bugs me. Because
I can already give you another circumstance. If a bunch of Trump supporters had done this to at a Hillary Clinton rally, I would support them also.
Well, okay. What if a bunch of Hillary supporters did it at a Bernie rally?
Then fuck them. Throw them all in jail.
Nope.
Burn them at the stake.
No.
Yeah.
They have the right to do it.
It seems harsh. It seems harsh, but we're trying to be nice.
Fuck with Kaiser Sanders.
You know, we're trying to be nice.
Kaiser.
You know, we had cases where, in a couple of cases, big stadiums loaded up with people, and these guys were loud. One guy sounded like Luciano Pavarotti, had the greatest voice. I said, I could make that guy an opera singer, but he's got the wrong attitude in life. So he starts screaming, and he starts swinging and hitting people. When the people hit back, which was very appropriate, he was a big, strong guy, they sat there, they hit back. The next day it was Trump's people are rough. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's
It's
what happened. I take that story with a fucking giant grain of salt. A boulder of salt.
I guess we'll move on. Here's a veteran asking Donald Trump to clarify remarks about John McCain and POWs.
Clarify them, sure.
Keith is a veteran.
Give him a chance to
and his
backpedal.
son, was captured in Iraq, and he was killed. And Keith would like to ask you a question because we all know that that you support our veterans, POWs,
more than anybody
and
by
everyone
far.
else.
He supports our veterans so much that he did a giant fundraiser for them and hasn't actually distributed any of the money yet.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Wow, what
they
a
don't
piece
care.
of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Mr. McCain, he went through years of trying to get his son back. John McCain would not help him. We know that you would help our POWs.
John McCain has not helped a lot of people like he should. That I can tell you. That's true. Go ahead. How are you doing? How are you? Nice to see you. Go ahead.
I come here because you made a comment to John McCain that you don't think that captured soldiers are heroes.
Oh, no. I never did that.
Well, what I want you to do is just
you
clarify that for
You
me
did.
because
You
I
did
think
do
it's
that.
important for all these people here
Yeah.
and for a
It
lot of
sounds real
veterans
bad.
that's in
I never
Ohio,
did it.
especially Ohio. And I know what you were doing
You know exactly what I was doing.
But I wanted you
they
to
are
explain
heroes,
that.
just so you understand, and real heroes,
Oh,
okay?
okay.
You know that. Thank you. Oh, that's for me. Wow. Thank you. Very nice. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, he did say that. I don't know. He directly said John McCain's not a war hero because he was captured. You know, to me, the real heroes are the guys that don't get captured. He said that.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, he can disown it all he wants, disavow it, but he still said it.
See, my perfect argument. That's why I don't want to silence Trump. He's an idiot.
Yeah, I don't want to silence him either. I just thought that for that one
You just want to
rally,
allow other
it was
people to.
Yeah.
in that one fucking instance, sure. But I mean, has it happened? Has it happened in any rally since? Has it happened in any rally before? It was one fucking rally.
If it did, would you still support it if it happened at every rally?
No, I mean, if that, then it would actually be a campaign to silence him.
Okay.
Here's a story with the guy who tried to get on stage while Trump was there in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh yeah, and he was ISIS.
Yep.
ISIS. Even though there's no evidence for that, but ISIS.
The man arrested after rushing the stage at a Donald Trump rally in Ohio yesterday, speaking out for the first time. This video capturing the moment the 22-year-old Tommy DeMassimo tried to confront the Republican frontrunner. The Secret Service stepping in
there's another
fast to stop
example
him.
of it there, by the way. Another example of some,
that rally was not stopped. It was one person who was like, you know, Donald Trump, he walks around, he thinks he's got this big swinging dick, and he's so tough, and he's gonna fuck with anybody who fucks with him. But
what happened is someone yelled like someone's coming over the barricade for you to Trump. So Trump was like, "Oh my god!" and he started freaking out.
It didn't look like he was exactly assuming the battle stance there either. So
he was.
But you know, afterwards he tried to spin it that way. He's like, "Yeah, I could have taken care of them, but I guess it's good to let the Secret Service do their job." It's like you really didn't look like you were turning to fucking fight, dude. But whatever.
Who knows? Whatever.
Now charged with
Not a
disorderly
body language
conduct and
expert.
inducing panic. Trump fired back at DeMassimo on Twitter. He accused him of having ties to ISIS. He tweeted, USSS, the Secret Service, did an excellent job stopping the maniac rushing to the stage. He has ties to ISIS, should be in jail.
He does not have ties to ISIS. Spoiler alert.
Our own Martin Savage sat down with him today. What did he say, Marty?
Well, you know, Poppy, there have been obviously a great many protests that have taken place with
Wow,
Donald
that
Trump
guy's got a
rallies,
nice
but this
deep
is the
voice.
first person we've known of to actually sort of charge the stage, and it seemed to raise protests to a new level here, and that's what I wanted to find out about.
It's Columbus.
22-year-old Tommy DeMassimo is a college senior. He goes to school here in Ohio. He's bright. He seems
looks like he's at Ohio State.
Intelligent, but he's obviously very politically active. And what he wanted to do, he said, was to deny Trump the stage. But I asked him, what were you really trying to do? Listen to the response.
Let's hear it.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that Donald Trump is a bully, and he is nothing more than that. He is somebody who is just saying a lot of bold things. He's making bold claims, but I can see right through that, and I can see that he's truly just a coward, and he's opportunistic, and he's willing to destroy this country for power for himself.
All right, well, that's your motivation. But what were you thinking at that moment?
Why
did you do what you did?
I was thinking that I could get up on stage and take his podium away from him and take his mic away from him and send a message
That's
to
not
all
realistic.
people out in the country who wouldn't.
There's no. How are you going to possibly accomplish that? There's Secret Service everywhere. There's cops everywhere. There's Trump supporters everywhere. There's no fucking realistic way for you to jump up on stage and take the mic from him.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you would have laid hands
like
on him, you probably would have gotten fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, he may be dead right now. Assuming that he got far enough to actually get on stage, like, he could potentially be dead or in the hospital.
Look at the attention he's getting. I mean, it seems almost to me like this is more of like a publicity stunt. I mean, look, you saw the Secret Service, you saw the police around the stage. Did he really expect he was going to jump over a barricade, dash, get by all of them, and get to Trump?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what this guy's mindset is, but that's a pretty unrealistic expectation for how things are going to turn out.
Yeah, I think this guy's mindset is this right here, this CNN piece. I think he thought that if he did something crazy at a Trump rally, he'd get a platform to talk about how bad Trump is. And he succeeded in that, I guess.
Yeah, he clearly has, because he's right here on CNN and we're listening to him talk.
Consider themselves racist, who wouldn't consider themselves approving of what type of violence Donald Trump is allowing at his rallies. and send them a message that we can be strong, we can find our strength, and we can stand up against Donald Trump and against this new wave he's ushering in of truly just violent white supremacist ideas.
Were you, if you had made it...
Supremacist?
Yeah, it was...
White supremacist. I think you mean white supremacist.
Yeah.
We could probably sell that on a shirt, too. I'm a white supremacist.
To that stage,
I don't know. It
were
doesn't
you
have
going
the
to attack
ring that Mim has, you know?
No.
No.
White supremacist? No.
Not at all. There would have been no point. Donald Trump is 6.
Like, this could be a potentially a big problem for Donald Trump moving forward. These people who are fucking, like, just, like, really fucking want to fucking shut his ass up. I mean, it could be crazy. Like, he might have to have, like, so much security at events that it's like every person, like, okay, you have to take the pledge of fealty and loyalty to Trump before you're allowed to enter the venue.
Before Trump.
I mean,
kiss his ring.
He's kind of lucky that that, you know, usually it's only been one or two protesters that has the balls to actually show up. Like, if they actually did start doing the thing that you were talking about and trying to, like, en masse form, like, coalitions to go to his events and silence him, they probably would succeed. Because I don't see how he could actually even stop that from happening.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of where you stand on it one way or the other, I think it's kind of an interesting idea that these people potentially could mobilize, stop Trump from holding any further rallies, and what could he really do what could he really do about it? I mean, what recourse would he even have at that point?
It's the age of the internet and TV and fucking movies and shit. He'd just keep having his rallies online and, you know, like, I don't know, man. The way to beat Trump is not to silence Trump. The way to beat Trump is to let Trump keep being crazy fucking Trump.
Yeah,
so that everybody can see.
Yeah, but, you know, I think people are getting scared now because, you know, all these people have been telling them from the very beginning, and it's something I never bought into. Maybe for a week or two I bought into it.
Oh, that Trump's a joke?
But this idea that Trump's not a serious contender, he's not going to go anywhere, you know, his candidacy's a joke, it'll fizzle out, and then, you know, these people, they're always setting the benchmarks for when this happens, that's when Trump falls. And I think people are getting scared because the media has told them on several occasions, you know, after this, Trump's done for. His goose is cooked. And they keep seeing him just blow past those expectations. They're just like, holy shit. From their standpoint, they're almost seeing him as like a comet hurtling towards the White House. It's like, oh shit, it's unstoppable. You know, the only thing we can do is fucking lock arms and fucking try to stop it.
Because they kind of have this, the media kind of has this thing where it's like, oh, we can talk to a lot of analysts and they're going to tell us what's what. Oh, Trump doesn't have a chance. And we kept hearing Trump doesn't have a chance. And we keep seeing polls where it's like, no, Trump is number one in this state. Trump is winning this state.
But if people start shutting down Trump rallies, I mean, how long is it before Trump supporters start shutting down other people's rallies? I mean, Trump's already...
Not long.
Trump's already said on Twitter, you know... careful, Bernie, before I start sending people to your rallies, which is stupid because Bernie Sanders had nothing to do with sending people to Trump's rally.
Well, yeah, Trump has accused Bernie of doing so, though.
Which is false. There's no, I mean, maybe it's not false, but there's no evidence to support it, so it's probably false. So, yeah, I mean, it would be kind of interesting. I mean, this is why I love politics in America, because there's always some crazy shit going down. Every time we have an election in this country, everyone loses their minds. Shit just gets totally fucking bonkers, and you never know what's going to happen. That's why, I mean, it's almost like it kind of gets that, like, Hunger Games thing going, like, where it's like, oh, everybody pay attention to the big spectacle and be distracted. I like that.
Yeah, maybe they should decide who
Bread
should
and
be the
circuses,
president,
man.
like Hunger Games.
You know, I'm pretty sure that Hillary would win then. I don't know.
I really don't like that, by the way. I don't like that the job interview for the most important job in our country is an absurd fucking circus with an orange billionaire at the helm of it. Like, I can't celebrate that. I'm sorry.
I can celebrate it from an entertainment standpoint. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm such an entertainment-minded person, you know? I mean, I do kind of care about the future of this country, but at the same time, I kind of have the George Carlin view of America just circling the drain anyway. So, you know, at least it can be amusing in its decline, you know? There could be a big spectacle. Oops.
Go ahead.
6'3". I'm 5'9", maybe. You know, he's a giant man surrounded by thousands of followers, 12 Secret Service.
Okay, so this
and a
guy
former
does
Ohio
realistically
State
understand this
offensive
shit.
lineman. That would have accomplished nothing.
But can you see how people might have perceived that you were?
Of course, and I wasn't expecting there to be as much Secret Service as there was there that day. From what I had sort of seen, there hadn't been that much in a contained area, so I thought my
Yeah, but that was
chances of getting up
before
on
the big Trump rally that got fucking overrun by protesters. I mean, of course, security is going to be upped now. That's like the natural response to that.
Yeah, of course.
Stage and getting to the podium would have been better.
And I mean, like in all fairness to Trump, Trump doesn't know that this guy's only 5'9". He doesn't know what the fuck's going on behind him. He just hears like something's happening. Oh shit, you know. But at the same time, I kind of think this guy made his point about Trump's cowardice because, you know, there's certain people, like, you can't fake that immediate reaction to something. When you're just like, if you're frightened and you're shitting your pants with fear, like, it's pretty evident pretty quick. And to me, what Trump did was like like a very frightened, like, animal, like, oh my God, my life. You know,
which is what 90% of people would do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
right. But here's a guy. But here's a guy that just is like all about the bravado and bluster, and I'm a fucking big swinging dick He-Man, awesome motherfucker, and nobody better fuck with me, and I'm the greatest of all time, and I'm winning, and I'm the best in all ways at all times. You know, I can tell you, I've known some real Louisiana shit kickers who walk the walk that Trump talks. And if they hear someone's coming for them, they don't fucking jump 10 feet in the air and look terrified. They turn around ready to fucking throw down. Would you agree with that, Scotty?
To some degree.
To some degree.
I mean, look, at a political event, I mean, obviously, Trump was obviously probably thinking someone was coming after him with a gun or something. I mean, it's a political event. It's a political rally. So, I mean, I don't know what was going through his mind.
Well, if he really thought someone was coming at him with a gun, I think he would have ducked.
He did kind of duck.
To me, he flipped around.
Yeah, it looked like he almost was going to pull the podium over. He was like holding on to it for a second.
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I do, guys?
But again, it was more important for me to show that there are people out.
Oh, and just to clarify for anyone who's probably like, oh, you'd have done this. Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. I would definitely be shitting my pants with fear in that instance. But I don't go around talking about what a badass I am all the time. That's the difference.
Out there who aren't afraid of Donald Trump. He says scary things. He lets his people do scary things. He's threatened Mexico, Islam, you name it, and yet I'm unafraid. And if I can be unafraid enough to go take his podium away from him, then we all can be afraid enough to not let this man walk into the White House.
I think you meant to say unafraid there, but maybe it was a Freudian slip, because I think you are afraid. I think you're terrified at the prospect of a Trump presidency.
Yeah, he is.
That's what impelled you to act. So really, you're acting out of fear just as much as you say Trump is acting out of fear.
Yeah.
That would be my condemnation of this guy.
All right, let's see. God, there's so many videos about Donald Trump.
Oh my God, really? I mean, like, we don't need any more Trump.
Yeah.
We've done Trump.
Yeah, look at all of it, dude. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, here's one. God used Hurricane Katrina to punish gay events.
I think the wake-up calls Katrina.
It's this guy again.
Hurricane Katrina. Katrina means to cleanse. One of the roots of that word, to cleanse. Well, it hits.
So what if that is? So what?
The
really?
Key West. The very day they're going to have the Day of Decadence.
Why wasn't it San Francisco? Or like West Hollywood?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Katrina is, like, okay, yeah, maybe some gay people were affected, but by far the people who were most affected were a bunch of fucking rednecks down in Mississippi and a bunch of black people in New Orleans. Those are the people who were most affected by Katrina.
Plenty of religious people died. Plenty of religious people lost everything they owned.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
Good job, God.
If
good job.
If the Hurricane Katrina had hit and mysteriously only gay people were casualties, then I would say, well, maybe there's something to this. But
I can tell from what we've heard of this guy that he's an Old Testament Christian. He's one of those like, well, yep, those normal people, those normal black people in New Orleans and them normal farmers and rednecks in Mississippi, they done deserved it because they was harboring the fags. And you saw what God did to Sodom and Gomorrah.
I mean, maybe
it's a joke. Louisiana is one of the most conservative places I've ever been in all of my life.
Yeah, I mean, like we're talking about Louisiana and Mississippi. Like, there's no. I mean, especially before the federal gay marriage thing, there was no great conciliatory attitude towards homosexuals there.
No,
except for maybe in like a small part of New Orleans, there was like, okay, it's okay to be gay within these like 10 city blocks.
All right.
Celebration. It was a little storm then, a smaller storm. Hits on that day. Then hits New Orleans on the day when they're playing. Theirs is a much bigger storm.
Yeah, you're a fucking disgrace, dude.
And then when I went to New Orleans, I met with a bunch of pastors right after the Katrina thing, and one of them asked me, do you think we're under judgment? Are you kidding me? Do you have to ask? And they were so offended that I would say yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's not politically
wow, I can't
correct.
believe they were offended by that. That's crazy. Why? Okay, so
you know what it was really? It was this guy went and said this shit to them, and they were like, "Really? That's really what you're saying to us?" And he's like, "Yeah." They probably wanted to beat the shit out of you, fat tub of shit.
I mean, if they're... I mean, like, can you imagine if you go to this guy at any fucking challenging point in his life, like, I don't know, his wife dies in a car crash or his kid gets addicted to drugs, and you just go to him and be like, you know what? This is God's judgment against you. You think he's going to be like, you must be right. He's going to be like, no, it's not. Fuck you. That's insensitive to me and my beliefs.
So every natural disaster that occurs is God's wrath? It's God's vengeance now.
I mean, I remember reading a story a number of years back about this town of people. They all hid in their church from this tornado, and then the tornado basically just barreled into the church and killed them all.
God's will.
You know, they probably would have been safer just staying home. But maybe that was a sinful church.
It was God's will.
Maybe they had some teenage pregnancies in that church or something.
Look, it's all part of God's plan, TJ. God's got a plan. That was his plan.
They fed a fag at the soup kitchen.
Oops. God's judgment's coming for you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Paul, just stay in the call.
All right.
Stay in the call, Paul.
Today's sponsor is Casper Mattresses, obsessively engineered American-made mattresses at a shockingly fair price. And now you can get $50 toward any mattress purchase by going to Casper.com/peasants and using code peasants.
Yeah, Casper sent me one of their mattresses so that I could understand the quality of the latex and memory foam design that has just the right amount of sink and bounce no matter how you sleep.
I'm so impressed with the mattress they sent Ben that I'm ordering my next mattress from Casper. The cool thing is they've got a 100-day return policy, so if I'm not satisfied with it, they'll pick it back up. In the store, you might get to try a mattress for a few minutes, but with Casper, you get 100 days to try it out. And the prices are great. It's $500 for a twin-size mattress and $950 for a king-size mattress. Comparing that to industry averages, that's a pretty outstanding price.
I agree, TJ. So get $50 towards any mattress purchase by going to Casper.com/peasants and using the code peasants. That's PEASANTS. Terms and conditions apply.
Why don't you tell us more about those terms and conditions, Ben?
I don't happen to have them right in front of me. One thing I will say, though, is that the mattress comes in this unbelievably small box, and you're like, how is there a king-size mattress in this small box that, you know, not even I could fit into? And then you open it up and it just explodes out of the box. It even says that you should open it in the room that you're going to use it in.
Yeah.
And then it just, like, expands out of nowhere.
It's like one of those little weird, like, sponge things, you know, where you, like, add water and it's like doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
You know, it's like a little tiny, like, sponge, like a little pill-shaped thing, and then you pour water on it, it becomes like a big sponge dinosaur, and then you're like, oh. And that's pretty
What's
much
a
it.
dinosaur?
Oh, I'm sorry, a dinor. I forgot. I was pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm sorry.
People always want to add that S, and I'm like, what? Why complicate a word? You know?
It's totally unnecessary. Currently, the bed is the star.
Oh yes. Yeah, I have one of those beds. The roll, the one that comes in the big roll in a fucking tiny little box.
Yeah.
And they are comfy.
Yeah. Cool. Me too.
But I was sleeping on a fucking air mattress for like 3 weeks prior to that, so.
Yeah, so that might have like tainted results, but you know. Taint. I said taint. Woo! This show's about taints now. Welcome back to the Taint Podcast. All taint all the time.
Scotty, I just want to let you know there's a Canadian in our presence right now.
There's a Canadian here?
You better believe it.
Ew.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Oh, so lame.
He said, you better believe
You
it,
better
buddy."
believe it, dude.
Better believe it. I'm Canadian. Ooh.
What's happening, peasants?
Drugs.
I don't think you're allowed to talk to us.
Hey, well, fair enough.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Who are you? What's your name? Identify yourself.
My name is Jordan. I go by Bird Flu as like a breakdancing name.
A breakdancing name. So you're a breakdancer?
Yeah. I've been doing it for about like 5 years or so.
What is happening there?
Dude, your mom is angry
your
about this
mom?
breakdancing career.
Bird flu! Stop it!
She's chirping in the background a little bit. Shush!
Excuse me! Excuse me, what are you saying?
Are we getting you in trouble? Did you maybe you should have told her you were doing this before you did it.
Oh no, she wanted to hide, you see.
She wanted to hide.
Ow!
Well, we can't see
man.
you, so
Yeah, we can't see you. You're fine.
Yeah, we can't see you.
yeah, you're just
Oh, no.
you're audio only.
I'm a Canadian voice. Am I? All right, hold on a second.
Oh, we're actually get to see him.
Yeah, he's been in the hangouts before.
Is he gonna break
Yeah.
dance for us here on the show?
Oh, I can't. You'd have to go to my channel, you see.
Oh, I see.
lame.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember, dude.
We're
Bird
not doing
Flu,
that.
I think, had the gigantic like bong on one of the shows. when
Yeah,
I was
he
down
did.
in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
I remember
Thank you,
now.
Paul. Paul respects the hip hop culture, so you know what I'm saying.
I do. You know what I mean?
What are you trying to say about us? We some racist?
Nah,
Yes,
you guys host the
racist.
rap battles. You guys are facilitators of the hip hop, you see.
Well, I'll tell you, I lived pretty much cheek by jowl with you guys in Ohio for a couple of weeks. I didn't hear a single fucking rap song, not one rap song. What do you guys got against hip hop culture?
You know, I mean, I think we all understand what I have against it. Okay, I don't want to come out and say it expressly, but we all know what I got against it. I hate rhyming. Yeah.
So, are you going to turn on your camera or what, dude?
So I'm a big fan of feminist slam poetry.
I'm kind of retarded with Skype. Cause
Okay, never mind.
Just, you know, don't even bother trying.
I'm retarded. You're Canadian. We understand.
We're good.
Yeah, it's
I
Skype's
apologize
fault.
yet again, peasants.
Oh, yeah, it's all Skype. Fuck you, Skype.
Sorry.
What are you thinking?
Sorry, Ben.
What are you thinking, Skype?
I don't know what's going on about all this.
Try hard. All right.
Brace yourself, TJ. Brace yourself.
I'm braced.
I'm ready for it. I think Ben's got...
Oh, God.
I'm going to face it this time.
Oh!
Oh, God, I looked directly at it. I looked directly at it.
Dude.
Maybe that's what Trump saw at the rally, dude.
Dude, I locked eyes with that manatee right through his sunglasses and mine. That was terrifying.
Yeah, I'm never going to look directly at the screen while that's
Don't do
happening
it.
again.
Don't fucking do it.
It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Ben can't be trusted. He just throws it in at the most inopportune moment.
Yeah.
I am the cold.
Shut up.
Oh.
You ain't no cold.
I'm so fucking cold.
I am the manatee.
You know what?
is so cold.
I'm so fucking cold that I'm going to play this. One of your fellow Canadians, bird flu.
Maybe you are the cold.
Hey everyone, it's TVC Mario, and you're here for a very important video. I felt led by the Holy Spirit to share this very important message with you.
He
The
doesn't
United
stand
States
a
of
chance.
America
He's
will
a
be
socialist.
choosing their next president shortly. And I just wanted to remind you, no matter who the next president is, Jesus Christ is king. In fact,
fuck
he
does
is
it
the
matter to
King
you?
of
You're a
Kings
fucking
and the
Canadian.
Lord of Lords.
So you
could
were
say
doing
that-
us the service of reminding us of a bullshit religious platitude. Thanks, I guess.
Not to mention, Cruz is a fucking staunch fucking conservative. He's a staunch Christian. He's even said several times that, like, God comes first.
Comes first.
Well, he does.
And last.
First and last.
And always.
He's the alpha and the omega.
Ah, you beat me to it. Fuck.
President of presidents.
President of
so
presidents.
it doesn't matter who will be selected to be in office. Jesus Christ still
So
rules
free will doesn't matter.
and will rule for eternity. So I wanted to share this message and clarify how Jesus is a king that is sovereign over all. Now, many of you might be wondering, why would a good, righteous, holy God allow evil men to rule this world?
I don't know.
If we look back in human history, it is evident that there have been some very twisted, diabolical, depraved, evil men that have been placed in positions of authority and power. Why would a good God allow this to happen? Well, you need to recognize that we live in a fallen world.
Hey, Mario.
This wasn't God's original plan.
Hey, Mario. Who's king again? Who's king?
Oh.
Did he just say this wasn't God's original plan?
It's Jesus Christ, right?
Who is the king?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that's king? Are you sure that? Are you sure he's king? Because
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I guess you're right. Sorry,
got
Mario.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's happening in there?
Oh.
We've all been asking ourselves that question about your brain.
Christ.
What the fuck?
I guess it would probably be wasting my time to remind Mario that 2 of the 3 men that he's showing on stage are Christians, right? Because they're not true Christians.
Dude,
I already know what the
of course
response is.
By Mario's standard, I think maybe there's like 12 Christians on Earth.
Jesus Christ.
Because like the vast majority of Christians, he just says they're not real Christians. No one is ever a real Christian in his eyes unless they just are fucking. They fucking follow. Basically, it's the way you determine if someone's a true Christian or not is if they fucking follow Mario. It's not about following Jesus. It's about following Mario.
Oh, they just have to get through it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, ooh.
In
Jesus.
fact,
Oh.
this is against his design and his will.
No.
If you recognize one of
Hold
the
on.
things that Christians are
How could it possibly be against his design and his will if it's happening? He's God. By your standard, he can do anything he wants, so nothing against his will should even happen, ever.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Like, even if fucking, Hitler kills 6 million Jews, it's because God, is part of God's plan. This is one of the ways God wanted things to go down. So, I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, you can't like on one hand claim that God is the architect of reality, and on the other hand claim that a group of Illuminati are controlling everything on the fucking planet. You dunce.
Honey,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't work
does,
to become
multiple
a whore.
times
I was
a week.
born a whore.
in the model of prayer that Jesus gave us, called the Lord's Prayer. We are to pray that the will of God be done on earth as it is in heaven. You see, in the heavenly realm, only God's will is done, but not on earth. We need to seek it, pray for God to reveal it, and do it.
Okay, well
in the
then,
garden.
In that case, it does matter who the leader is, even by your standards. So your earlier speech about the leader not mattering is bullshit.
Bullshit.
I mean, I can't even. The thing I hate you, Mario, because not only is your shit inconsistent with reality, but it's inconsistent with itself.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, every argument that Mario has ever made that I've heard is self-refuting in such a basic way.
And you think he's some kind of visionary.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, much like the Bible itself, but at least the composition of the Bible has the excuse of multiple authors. This guy can't even get his own shit right.
Yeah, well, he just, it's a hodgepodge of shit he's heard elsewhere anyway. It's not like any of these are original thoughts from Mario.
Oh, Mark Dice. Sorry.
Of Eden, man went against God's will. He gave us free will. He didn't want these little robots that just would obey and do what he wanted to and love him
They
because
didn't
we
love
were
me by
pre-programmed
choice.
to. That's not true love. So what he did is create beings who have the ability to disobey. And that's just what we did. So we brought upon ourselves this fallen system by disobeying the commands of our Creator, who is righteous, holy.
Even though God knew you, Mario, before he formed you in your mother's womb, knew everything you were ever going to do, every decision you would ever make, and created you to do those things, you somehow have free will. It's inexplicably stupid on the face of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have it both ways. Either God has a plan or there's free will. They're irreconcilable. I know that some Christians, smarter than Mario, honestly, have engaged in some sophistry that somehow makes it possible, according to them, but I've never understood any of the arguments they've made. And to me, it's like saying that something can be wet and dry at the same time in the same place.
Because they're totally implausible arguments.
You could drop a sponge into a fucking vat of water and somehow it won't get wet.
I used this on YouTube way back. It's like if there was a mad scientist, right? He builds this giant robot, creates it, himself, and programs it to stomp its way all the way across the United States and destroy New York City. Who's at fault? The overlord, the one that programmed the fucking robot to destroy the city, or the fucking robot? Christians don't want to admit it because that's the kind of the truth. Like, if God is what they say he is, they are robots. They are acting upon his will, not theirs. How could it be any different if he knows everything and is aware of every possibility?
Because they're still given a choice.
Now, because we have fallen, men of twisted, internal, just wretchedness have been placed in positions of power. But, trust me, one day they will
God's
face
plan.
the king.
Twisted Internal Wretchedness sounds like a good title for a Brett Keane book.
There you go.
Dude, the sequel to Eternal Undying Love.
A
Twisted
new trilogy
Eternal
from
Wretchedness.
Brett Keane. Twisted Eternal Wretchedness by Manatee Keane.
an autobiography. So horrifying. Like, I can see it, yeah. Brett needs to write the story of his life and call it Twisted Eternal Wretchedness.
Internal.
Oh, internal.
Everyone will. We will all be judged. And those of us who are in Christ Jesus, we have the imputed righteousness of Jesus Christ. We will be forgiven, not because we are good people, not at all. It is nothing to do with our works. It is all about the holiness and the perfect life.
Well, the Bible's actually kind of two minds about that. There are actually parts that say it is due to works, and there are other parts that say it isn't. So, I mean, that's just your cherry picking. But of course, what choice do you have? When the book explicitly contradicts itself, you got to believe one version or another.
You have to cherry pick the Bible. There's no other way to fucking read it.
Life of Jesus. And he gave that to us as a free gift when we believed on him. But
believed on him?
That's weird. I believe on Jesus every time.
I believe on Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't believe in Jesus. I believe on Jesus. I sit on Jesus and I believe.
Having had a great many conversations, as I'm sure you have, TJ, with Christians on YouTube about like specifics in the Bible. I used to do that all the time. It's really funny to watch them refute the Bible themselves. Like when you put the Bible against the Bible, which it's very easy to do because it's chock full of blatant contradiction, then they're forced to try and disprove the validity. So they'll be like, well, if you take it back to the Greek, well, then the Bible has a glaring mistranslation in it. I thought the Bible was perfect. I thought the King James was perfect. It's pretty fucking funny to watch them flop around.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's certain parts that are just irreconcilable. Like, there's two different creation accounts that have the fucking days going in a different order. I forget what their excuse is even for that one. But basically, if you go to there's a Skeptic's Annotated Bible like compiled a list of all the contradictions in the Bible, and I believe that even the Skeptic's Annotated Bible itself will link to people's arguments against the contradictions because they're so on their face ridiculous that anybody who's being intellectually honest who looks at them is going to be like, wow, that's the worst argument I've ever seen. This is obviously someone trying to make a square peg fit in a round hole. And they'll just do anything to make it happen. Like, okay, well, you know, it looks like it has four corners, but it's actually a circle if you really think about it from trans-dimensional,
they know it's
interpersonal.
Bullshit.
For me,
they know it's fucking bullshit. Everyone knows it's bullshit.
It's always a translation problem for me. Like, you'll be like, here's the Bible telling you to do some insane bullshit. And they'll be like, well, if you look up the Greek for insane bullshit, it also means air and dove. So it was really what he's trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's so absurd.
But that's not how translation even works. Yeah, that doesn't know how it works.
Semantic argument, essentially, and confuddles things, right? I mean,
yeah.
Look over here. Totally look absurd. Over here. Look over here. Ooh.
But never mind the fact that we're saying all of this in response to a fucking guy who, like, literally uses the most blatant fallacy known to man, the most awesome fallacy that has ever been wreaked upon the world in every video, and we're trying to explain to him that you know his Bible is contradictory and bullshit. I don't think it's gonna work, guys.
Yeah, I don't think there's any hope whatsoever of getting through to the vigilant Christian Mario.
It's just his worldview, TJ. It's just his worldview.
Yeah, you know, it's just his worldview. What are you gonna do? It's his worldview.
Worldview. It is his worldview. Just a reminder to everyone, after we are done here, we will go and record the post show. If you would like to hear the post show, go to SoundCloud. Down below is a link to our SoundCloud page where you can listen to it.
People keep asking me, like, what's the point of the post show? To get you to go to SoundCloud.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, like, it should be obvious. It shouldn't really need saying what the point is, but yeah. It's not even so much money. It's just we want to climb the fucking podcast charts more, so...
Yeah, so, I mean...
Wait a minute. How dare you guys offer some free bonus content at the expense of a click? How dare you guys?
I mean, if you use iTunes, use iTunes to get it. I mean, however you prefer to get it.
Yeah, because it helps our podcasts ranking in among podcasts and shit, and also, you know, you get fucking free bonus content. What's not to love? Anyway, let's move on from
What's not to
Cringelant
love?
Vision and see what else we got.
Cringelant Vision.
Cringe a lot, Christian.
The Villigent Christian.
The village idiot Christian.
All right. I think this is a feminism video.
Is it a slam poem?
For young women who don't consider themselves
Yep.
feminists.
It is.
Babies.
Hey, at least memorize the fucking poem, all right? I mean, like,
Did she
most
just
of these-
open the poem calling them babies?
Yep.
This is what I'm. No, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Please, for the love of all that is holy and right and grandmotherly in this world.
grandmotherly? What does that mean?
You got me.
Okay.
It means different things
Stop.
to different people because different people have. Some people have horrifying, scary grandmothers. Some people have horrible, abusive grandmothers. Some people have wonderful. You know, like what's grandmotherly even mean?
My grandma used
It's
to put
good.
cigarettes out of my ball sack if I stayed out too late.
Man,
feminism is so grandmotherly.
It's almost like they're stereotyping grandmothers in a sense.
Yeah, not all grandmothers are the same, you fucking insensitive bitch.
Saying that shit out loud. It makes you sound.
She's grandphobic.
You're grandsphobic.
Who's actually laughing at this shit? Like,
I don't know, some moron.
like an idiot.
Hey, in all fairness to them, they're really high.
It's like giving up the first 20 rungs on the ladder to getting some respect. The ladder is like 1,000 rungs tall. You're gonna have to ask for every one. You're gonna have to full torso fight for every goddamn rung. When you say, I just don't.
Wow, this is a new low. This is terrible.
Yeah.
There's
Emotional
nothing.
blackmail.
There's like this piece that she's performing has like zero love for language. And the analogy she's using sounds like something a fucking 10-year-old would come up with. I mean,
she's oozing like fake conviction, that bad actory fake conviction that people put on when they're trying to sell something. It's just awful. And the way she's talking to these people. If there are people out in the audience that don't call themselves feminists, you open the piece by calling them babies. Why would I listen to you? I don't need a daddy. I'm 35 years old. I don't need somebody to put me on their knee. Explain to me why I should think the way they do.
you're a baby, Paul.
You want to
You're a
change
little
my
baby.
mind? Let your fucking ideas.
She's
bake
not
in the
trying to
sunlight
change
of
your
the
mind. She's
public
trying to change your
marketplace.
diaper because you're a fucking baby.
Babies.
You're a baby. Oh, goochie goo.
I don't consider myself a feminist. It's like saying, I'm not that crazy about having the right to vote, or get an education,
Some total straw man.
or prosecute men who perpetrate violence against me.
That makes perfect sense.
The nervous laughter of a man who's trying to be like, I'm on your side.
I'm a feminist.
I mean, what? Okay. What does feminism even have to do? Like, there's the right to vote has already been won by women, and clearly people who assault women are prosecuted. So, what? You don't have to be a feminist to fucking think that women
There's
should
something
vote.
all around you just called rape culture. Okay, buddy. So
It's like the
it's not
ether, I swim in.
it's not prosecuted. It's not.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I forgot.
I used to be against like lumping SJWs in with feminism, but I've seen too many ties since I started really paying attention to this that you can't now. Which is why you shouldn't be surprised that people run like the fucking wind away from feminism now. You guys need to clean up your fucking backyard. Quit talking crazy.
Yet, here in Canucktada, I just got a piece of mail. We have a new loony coming out commemorating the women's right to vote. They like sent a shiny leaflet to every apartment in my complex, and probably down the block.
When he says
It's
loony,
something-
he means a $1 coin, TJ.
a $1
Okay.
coin to translate.
I knew it was
Dollar,
a coin.
dollar
I
bill,
didn't know
y'all.
what it was. The value was, but
Well, in American money, it's like 14 cents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right,
A
Scotty?
loony?
That much?
Is it called a loony?
It is.
Yeah.
It's called a loony. It's got a bird right on
It's a
that
bird.
thing.
Yeah, and then a $2 coin is called a toonie. No lie.
And it's got a bear on it.
You know what? The entire I agree with Scotty's stance on Canada now.
Just because the name of the coins?
No, loony is okay, but toonie, come on.
It was 1996. It was a different time. People were listening to Ace of Base and shit.
Sounds like you got your coin names from the fucking Tiny Toon Adventures theme song and shit.
They're loony, they're toonie, they're tiny, and they're loony.
That's not the words, but thanks. Yes. I'm not gonna actually sing the song because I don't
you
want
got
people
it,
to.
come on.
I don't want people to know that I know it.
I know it. I actually know it too.
If my body's property. Also,
No one says your body is property. Not only that, I wouldn't even want it if it was. Get away.
if you could, please stop following it up with, I've just never been discriminated against personally, because though that's great. Yeah, that you've never met any obstacles to your self-actualization, and we're really
Self-actualization. Suck a dick. What is self-actualization? What the fuck does that mean? What does it mean? What is all these meaningless fucking terms they toss around and like act like there's some fucking authority or meaning to it? Self-actualization. Like, what is that? The moment when you become your true self? Like, what?
Yeah, the moment
It's the
when
moment
discover...
you realize victimhood is currency in SJW and current society, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's the moment that you realize that fucking, like, you live in this fucking world and every problem that you have is because of this mystical patriarchy and this rape culture. Yeah, it's when you finally become a true thinker and accept something that's absurd on the face of it.
You know what I think we should do, as an aside?
Sure.
For the post show, we should listen and respond to Tommy Sotomizer's latest video.
Yeah, he can't fuck with us there. Can't DMCA our fucking post show, can you, bitch? So if you guys want to hear us talk about Tommy Sotomizer's latest video, we'll be doing that in the post show after this is over. But now back to insipid feminist nonsense. Oh, one more point on self-actualization. Who you are constantly changes based upon where you are in your life at that time. There is no penultimate form of yourself. So you know.
for you. Please just punch. And who wants to be president anyway? Am I right?
Good point.
Oh God, no! Too
Hillary.
much cringe. Too much cringe.
Ben can't handle it. Ben's like, I can't take this anymore.
Bad. It
all
really
these
is
people
bad.
just like giggling at each other like this. Ha ha ha.
Is it nervous laughter or what's going on there?
I don't
This is a Tumblr gathering.
All the Tumblr rights. I don't want to be president anyway. It's like, good. No one else wants to be president either.
Well, you have to support your sisters. When they get up to read their ridiculous, condescending, absurd poem, you have to be into it, man. Because if you're not, you're just denying her womanhood.
Is she? I mean, like, could we even loosely call this a poem?
No.
I don't think we could.
It's an absurd, rambling rant aided by notes.
I mean, like, at least some of these other feminist slam poets, they've like memorized this shit, and they had some kind of a delivery. I mean, feminist slam poetry sucks under the best of circumstances, but when it's like this level of rank-ass amateur, like, you're not even good for the low standards of feminist slam poetry. By that low standard, this is still bad.
Well, I mean, you saw the shaky cam when it started. I mean, you saw like the fucking slowly zoom in.
This is like listening to the most boring person that you remember from high school describe why they became a feminist. It's the worst. Like, it's gross. Now, outside of your little bubble, nobody would sit and listen to this. You would be booed off of any stage that allowed criticism. So just sit down and keep your notes in your lap next time.
Just trying to marginalize her then, Paul. Just trying to marginalize her.
Boot off the stage, Paul. That sounds like trying to silence somebody.
Sexism at its finest.
Anyway,
I think we should go do the post show.
you want to just do it now? How long have we been on?
Like 2 hours and 15 minutes, I think.
I guess that's long enough. All right, everybody, we're going to do the post show. We're going to fucking tear Tommy Sotomizer a new asshole. It's going to be great. Be sure to check it out. It'll be up probably later this evening.
Yeah, Bird Flu, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, no worries. Thanks for having me on after all this time. I've been meaning to pop on for a while, so thank you for the opportunity.
Next time, you got to break dance for us and take a giant bong rip.
Oh, will do. I can do both of those at the same time.
Sweet. All right. I'm going to hold you to that.
Word. Peace and chicken grease.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, everyone, keep an eye out for the post show.
It'll be on SoundCloud or it'll be on iTunes. It'll be anywhere else you can fucking find podcasts.
Yeah, basically our audio feed, Drunken Peasants audio feed. Follow us on Facebook. Or like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
And even though we might not be able to use our actual channel for a while, if you're not someone who watches the Drunken Peasants regularly, please go to that channel and subscribe to show your support. And we could probably use patrons more than ever as well. Patreon.com/DP. You get access to the next private show where Paul and Scotty are going to be at each other's throats in a brutal drinking contest to the finish. Who will win? Who will survive? No one knows.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
DP Ball Z. All right, everybody. See you in the post show.
Good night, y'all.